This is Gamers CJ podcast on Podbean. So today I'm telling you my favorite albums of 1987. This is number 7 in this list. We're going to go from number 8 to number 1. I'm going to be telling you why I like those records. And similar to the one from 88, we're actually going down the list. And with the typical rant and everything, but basically, this stuff came out, anything that really came out in 87. Um, Basically, there are 2 albums on here I consider to be black metal. One is the third album from a band I actually really like. Uh, that for some reason I cannot stop listening to. I only like a few songs, but the reason it's number 8 is because I really, really like this one. Number 8 is Under the Sign of the Black Mark by Bathory. This album is great. I'm actually going to go on because I like the album. I guess I like Women of Dark Desires is one of my favorite songs. That's one of the main reasons I like this record. Everything else in the album is good, but basically Woman of Dark Desires has just a boom, 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 like an intensely insane uh, drumming drive to it. So these are the tracks on it. Massacre is a good song. Call from the Grave. Chariots of Fire is a good song. Angry Mathorn is another one. This isn't my favorite Bathory album, but it's still up there as far as an album that, I mean, I'll listen to them from time to time. I mostly prefer listening to the album by Bathory, like from 1984, which is self-titled. Very good. Ow. Sorry, I hit my hand on the walking my dog. Basically, much different than The Return. I like The Return of Darkness and Evil. So yeah, that's Catherine is Town of the Black Mark. Number 7 is Abigail from King Diamond. Dude, this album is good. Like, you want to talk about intense sort of like black metal? Oh my god. Or not black metal, sorry. No, I'm thinking the other one. I'm sorry, I'm not. If you want to talk about a theatrical album, you want to talk an album that is horror themed, like the first two King Diamond solos, I love. Abigail and this one is amazing. I think I have the track listing here. I should have went on. Uh, so here, let me tell you it really quick. I love King Diamond. So this whole album is great. Funeral, Arrival, Mansion in Darkness, The Family Ghost. Like the 7th day of July, 1777. Omens, The Pedestrian, Abigail, and of course Black Horseman. You know what's weird though? I'm not really into horror metal anymore. Well, obviously, I like it for what it is because I don't really listen to albums that came out in '88. I pretty much, I mean, or '87. I'm not really into That's not why I listen to metal. I listen to a few songs. All right, so now we're getting up to number 6, and it's Def Leppard Hysteria. Look, I tell people all the time I don't really care for Hysteria, but it's a good freaking album, man. I mean, you have all. I mean, that album had 7 hit singles. I'm gonna say signals, and I'm singles. Why am I keep? And I'm gonna say one thing about Def Leppard. If you think they sell, if you thought they sold out, not true. They were influenced by 70s glam rock. Def Leppard did not sell out. They were never metal. They were never. They weren't trying to be anything. I mean, it still has a formula. But Hysteria, man, that one was so good. Love Bites. You have women. You have my favorite song on the album is Gods of War. A tape telling for the gods of war. Oh, and what the hell we fighting for? I love that song. Every song on the album is good. Hysteria, all the stuff. The album is perfect in my opinion. No bad songs. That's why it's number 6. I mean, there's not much I can really talk about it, other than the fact it's a really good record. And I said, Def Leppard Hysteria, great album from 1987. Now we're gonna get into number 5. This album is probably, I think, that is my favorite Brazilian metal band. Sarcophago. Sarcophago. INRI. Very, 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 very anti-Christian and extreme. And it's different than Merciful Fate, that their last album came out in 1980, like the last album before this came out in 1984. Merciful Fate, lyrically, they're like it. And Bathory's first album, sure they have elements, but this album, bro, like, let me pull it up here right now. Let me pull it up. Let me pull up. Let me put up. Let me put up Sarcophago. You have Satanic Lust. You have Desecration of Virgins. You have Nightmare. You have the title track. Christ Death, Satanist, Ready to Fuck, Death Thrash, The Last Slaughter, Re-Crucified, The Black Vomit, and then Satanist, and of course you have all these live tracks. But the whole thing about this album is I mostly listen to it for most of the extremity. Like I don't really. It's like other albums when we get into like essentially more of the '80s stuff. When I make my other lists, um, this album this album for '87, it's super heavy. It actually came out the same year as Death Crush by Mayhem, and I didn't want to really include the bit, but I will include it. I was gonna be number 9, I forgot, but Death Crush, and I'm not a big Mayhem fan. But might as well. I'm talking about it. Might as well talk about it. So, um, Sarcophago is 5A. 5B is Death Crush by Mayhem. Similar to the list I'm putting out for 1982. It seems like it's a little the same. So for Death Crush, um, I don't actually save some of the songs, but So this is the EP by Mayhem. You have Salvester, Anfang, Death Crush, Chainsaw Gutsfuck. A very sort of weak cover of Witching Hour by Mayhem. I do love the first two. I mean, not Mayhem, Venom. Excuse me. Death, Witching Hour, Necrolust, and then Weird Manheim. Basically, Mayhem comes from a Venom song called with like an instrumental song called with Mayhem with Mercy. I just thought I'd get that out of the way. Okay, yep. Now we're going to get into number 4. This is part of the holy trilogy that I call from my favorite American thrash metal band. Among the Living by Anthrax. This album is great. Among the Living, basically, I am the law, the follow rather, I am the law. You know, you have Among the Living, you have Eddie Skeletons, Eddie Mistletoes, Eddie Skeletons in the closet. You know, you have this record, even though, in my personal opinion, the best record that Anthrax ever put out, especially in what I call their Holy Trinity, you know, basically, I don't count I'm the Man in here because I like I'm the Man, but that's just one single. Basically, right? I love Among the Living, but my favorite has got to be Spreading the Disease from 1985. That's my favorite Anthrax album. But this one is pretty good. I mean, all the songs are very good. I'm the Law is on there. You know, Even Not Confessing. NFL, nice fucking live. All that stuff. The Holy Trilogy that I call it. The first 3 records. Are very good. Among the Living, I mean, dude. Oh, I forgot about Caught in the Mosh. Oh, Caught in the Mosh. Indians. Dun, 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 dun. We all see black and white. Dun, 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 all over the house they fight. Ah. Oh no, I'm thinking of all the songs kind of blend with each other. And you have Imitation of Life, The Heart of All. I mean, One World. Like some of these songs are not really that good. I do like some of the other. I do like it. I mean, the album itself is great. The songs I do listen to, but because we're at number 4, number 3. This is a good record. I don't listen to it as much, really, as I used to, but it's "Burn My Touch" by Liege Lord. So when I wrote this list, I changed. I was just kind of think, but if I had to redo the list, Among the Living would be 4. I mean, dude, Burn My Touch has still some good songs. Walking Fire is good. Burn My Touch. Andy McCall is a very good vocalist. I mean, I have no words to say with Liege Lord. But then again, I don't really listen to them anymore, so I kind of, but Burn My Touch, this album is great. Birds of Prey, why can I die? Maniac's Mask, Blacklit Nights. It's not my favorite USA Power Metal album. It's not my favorite, but I don't know. I mean, it's one of those albums that I want to listen to. I'll listen to it for a few days straight. I will be listening to it constantly. Now for this next record, dude, it goes insane, man. Rock You to Hell by Grim Reaper. This album is insane. It was the last album with Nick Bocott, Steve Grimmett partnership. No more Mark Simon. You know, all of the stuff that Grim Reaper put out in the early '80s, dude, it's amazing. I'm sorry. Rocky to Hell. Night of the Vampire. You know, and when having a lust for freedom. Lust for freedom! Taking it all the way. Lust for freedom! Yeah, I haven't really listened to them in a long time, but I just know it's really good. When hanging comes down, whatever, sucking in sea, barking until I die. Yo, what you were never born. Nick Bocott's guitar tone is really good. Wasted Love and I Want More. Dude, this album is my number 2. Because what it is, it's similar to Burn to My Touch, where if I start to listen to it, I cannot stop listening to it. That's how much I enjoy the sound. But number 1, it's the first part. Okay. Dude, I'm sorry. Get that pissing me off. I'm sorry. Part 1 to my favorite metal albums of all time. It is the Holy Grail. Keeper of the Seven Keys, Part 1 by Helloween. I know every song in this album. I love the I love the intro. I'm Alive. The song I've really been getting into lately is I'm Alive, is A Little Time. Dude, because if you like an album, if you like music like I do, there's certain albums a certain bands put out. For instance, I love Keeper 1 as much as Keeper 2. There's one song I don't seem to care for, A Tale That Wasn't Right. But that is good. Oh, this is a power album. Sometimes I skip it. I just don't really like that song as I do for Keeper 2. Keeper 2, I'm sorry, that album, I don't see any wrong in that. It's a good album in '88, right? And it kind of closed out a good chapter. Kai Hansen's going to be leaving. That whole core, that Helloween sort of, the whole, after coming off of, now talking about Keeper 1, you release the Helloween EP. It has, Victim of Fate, Warrior, Cry for Freedom, and then that's I think all the tracks. And then of course you have Walls of Jericho, and then you have the Judas mini single. So it has Judas, great song by the way. Please, I will be including that. We'll be including all the extra tracks in when I do my 1985 album review. Listen, that's not going to be number 1, and I'm sorry. That's not going to be number 1, but certainly up there. To tell you the truth, there aren't really albums that I really listen to from '86, as I would like to, obviously. But throw it out there. That album from basically Judas. If it was a real album, that would be on its own. But you get into '87, and Helloween's a really good new singer, Mike Kiske, who I, by the way, really love. He's very good. You know, you essentially have this sort of change in the style. And I always get annoyed with people when they say, "Oh, well, they sold out." No, they didn't. Halloween sound evolved. Um, there's still songs on Walls of Jericho that have similar stuff that are faster. But the thing is, with what they did with Keeper One, is they sort of refined the fast songs on Walls of Jericho. You had Guardians, you had Gorger, and really, you know, some 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 very good songs like I mean the combo, what I call it, the combo of like I'm Alive and A Little Time. Don't get me wrong, I'm Alive, but I don't know, for some reason I just cannot stop listening to A Little Time. For some reason, that's the song in this album that I can't stop listening to. It's almost like with Keeper 2 where, you know, maybe for a couple of days I'll be in the, like right now I'm in the Rise and Fall. Well, then I'll start getting into maybe Ego Fly Free, You Always Walk Alone, Dr. Steen, or even do the combo of Rise and Fall and Dr. Steen, which sometimes I do. But with Keeper One, it's usually just right now I'm doing I'm Live. I mean, A Little Time, and sometimes I want to listen to Future World. And Future World's a great song, by the way. I love Future World. Great single. Should have a music video, but we'll get to that in a second. You have Twilight of the Gods. So I saw Halloween last Friday, and literally Friday the 17th. It's right now Thursday, a couple of days later, and I'll tell you, they play Twilight of the Gods. I love that song, and I never understood what the lyrics meant because when I'm in when I'm in a certain band, I don't really follow the lyrics because I'm not listening to it because of the lyrics. I'm listening to it because it has a good sound. But when I heard Michael Kiske mention, oh, it's about AI technology, I'm like, I just thought it was about mythological thing. It's like Guardians. Like no one's ever explained to me what Guardians means. You know, because I'm not. My music is not that. I'm not that deep into the lyrics. I'm into talking about. Oh my God, it sounds great. I like what you're doing on this. But with, for instance, like Keeper Two, I don't know half of those songs. What those half of those songs mean. Like, sure, you can explain, oh, it's about religion. Okay, but explaining what the songs mean. You know, I don't read the lyrics because, you know, I'm about the music, style of the music I'm listening to. You know, it doesn't mean like, oh, I'm listening to Keeper Two. Oh my gosh, or whatever. But to find out that Twilight of the Gods essentially means technology, I feel like that does make sense, but sort of like, okay, I've listened to Halloween since 2015. Sorry. So I wish I knew that ahead of time. We have basically like, I mean, you have, see, now I don't remember now I'm distracting myself. I think I have it this year. Hold on. Taylor wasn't right. It's a song I don't really care for, right? It's not even that I don't care for it. Dude, I swear to God, stop playing automatically. Forget. Literally just looking at the track listing and decided to play. Um, Future World, like I said, amazing. But Halloween, which is basically sort of a song basically about the band. That's on Kickspot. I've been cursing this whole podcast. Now it's just, hey, let me just make it clean. No thanks. Finishing up all the bonus tracks here. You have Follow the Sun, which is I guess like a solo part. Re-recorded version of Victim of Fate, which is amazing. That's probably the first version and absolutely the only version of Victim of Fate that I actually really like. My first real introduction to Halloween was, I remember, I think it was either a CD that I got or what I downloaded back when I was starting to get into it. And I'm like, okay, let's put it on my iPod. That is probably, okay, speaking of that album, it's called Best, the Rest, the Rare. So pretty much that is stuff from Keeper 1, Keeper 2, Walls of Jericho, and of course, all the extra tracks. Actually reading this title off, Keeper of Seven Keys, Part 1 and 2 Deluxe Edition, which, by the way, they were going to do that, by the way, but the record said no. You know, you have a remix of Starlight. I don't really like Starlight that much. A rotated version of A Little Time. You have Halloween Edit, which basically is the video version of basically audio of the video version, because the main version is like 13 minutes long. Like, dude, I understand the need to like show the keys, bro. You have Savage single. You have Eliminate No Crown, which is another single. Yeah. This is much shorter than the last one. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, and you guys have a good weekend. And I will talk to you guys in the next one.